According to St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's deputies, 39-year-old Carlos Rodriguez escaped from jail at 10 o'clock Saturday night. Neighbors say leveling the Claiborne overpass may cause some traffic problems, but they say it won't bring down the culture of the community. Across the state, the average cost of a one-night hotel room stay is $100. But Charrier says the Bentley's $140 per night rate puts it on par with other big-name hotels in cities like Baton Rouge. 23 out of 64 parishes in Louisiana have a mosquito abatement program. Rapides Parish is not included in that number. Dr. Holcomb says voters in 2002 voted against adding a mosquito abatement program at the height of the West Nile virus. Buying a wedding cake can cost anywhere from $500 to thousands of dollars, but Mark Atwood says business here is still sweet. Imagine the phone rings. It's 3 a.m. and you wake up to hear this.
Please be aware that a 39-year-old Hispanic male has escaped from the St. Tammany Parish Jail.
Neighbors in this quaint Covington neighborhood, like Michael and Melinda Miller, say they're on edge.
I'm thinking it's time to move home all the time, so basically my 3 dogs got to be my security along with the security system.
According to St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's deputies, 39-year-old Carlos Rodriguez escaped from jail at 10 o'clock Saturday night. Deputies say Rodriguez is accused of murdering Mario Scamuza after Scamuza's wife paid Rodriguez to kill her husband.
I mean, he's in jail for murder, so it's not something that we want the residents to, certainly try to take matters into their own hands.
So hopefully if he's gone, he's long gone from here. And, at least away from this neighborhood.
Gary Francis and his family have lived near the jail for 10 years. He's concerned about the jail security, and he says he's taking extra precautions.
We're just going to keep everybody inside, the kids and stuff, and, in fact, I was coming out here, my wife's like, make sure you got the doors locked, and where are you going,
Residents are worried because this is the second incident in less than a year. Last June, 4 inmates escaped from St. Tammany Jail, but Captain George Bennett says the jailbreak in June and this weekend's incident are not related.
The issues that were discovered during the last incident have been addressed and were not contributing factors to this one.
Bennett says deputies will continue the search until Rodriguez is back behind bars. Kris Cusanza, Fox 8 News. Licensed firearm dealer John Lord owns the Arms Merchant gun store in Covington. He says here in the sportsman's paradise, owning a gun is a rite of passage.
Whenever you have a group of people, a society, whether they're fishermen or hunters, and they have grown up around, say, firearms, it would seem to me that it would be a safer state.
But one advocacy group sees it a little differently. Louisiana ranked 48 out of 50 states on the Brady campaign's gun safety list. The list covers more than gun injuries and includes the amount of state gun control law. Covington Police Chief Richard Palmisano is a former alcohol, tobacco, and firearms agent. He says Louisiana gun control laws are already on the books.
Here in Louisiana, and reiterate that, is that we, for all practical purposes, have mirrored the laws, the federal laws.
Palmisano says the system Louisiana has in place for purchasing weapons is up to par, but the problem for law enforcement is variation in sentences for offenders.
If we don't put out a penalty for an offense, then there's no incentive not to commit that crime again.
Lord and Palmisano agree gun control is a volatile issue, especially for victims and families of those affected by violent crime. Some say more gun control laws are the answer.
They feel that if you can keep the gun out of the hand, whatever it would take to keep the gun out of the hand of the offender is what we need to do.
Others turn to purchasing a weapon for protection.
When they buy a firearm, there's a certain intrinsic safety factor to owning that firearm.
Lord says one of the biggest misconceptions people have is that buying a gun is easy.
When the individual comes in to buy the firearm, if you're in a licensed dealer, they have to fill out what's called a 4473 form, which asks some extensive background questions.
Once the form is completed, the information is sent to the FBI for verification. Then if all the information clears, the person may purchase the firearm. However, under state and federal law, anyone convicted of a felony is no longer allowed to purchase, carry, or own a firearm. For Tiger TV, Kris Cusanza, Eye on LSU. It's sunrise in New Orleans, and these American Idol hopefuls lined up outside the Hilton Riverfront, gearing up to face a panel of tough critics.
Been waiting for a long time, so ready to get that golden ticket.
I already said my prayers and everything, and I was like, okay, just get the nerves out because that can ruin the whole thing.
This lucky group was picked from thousands of hopefuls who tried out at the New Orleans Arena back in July. Now, the star-studded judging panel is in New Orleans for round 2 of auditions.
C'est le bon temps roulé. We gonna pass a good time, yes sir?
For local contestant Lauren Turner and her family, auditioning for the judges is not a new experience. This time, she says she's ready.
I'm a lot more mature. This time I was, young, just out of high school, and naive.
In 2004, then 17-year-old Turner made it past her auditions in New Orleans, but was sent home from Hollywood. Now, at 24, Lauren's more determined than ever to win the competition.
Winning, oh my gosh. Okay, I wanted to be a singer since I was a little girl. My mom told me I've been singing before I could actually speak words. To have the job that I've always wanted, singing, that would be incredible.
This time, Lauren's mom says the power of personality is key.
When she auditioned the first time, she thought, it was all about the voice, but now she knows that's different. It's the total package.
The next step for those lucky contestants who survive the judging panel is a golden ticket to Hollywood. But if you want to find out if local stars like Lauren Turner made it all the way through, sorry guys, you're going to have to wait till January to find out. Kris Cusanza, Fox 8 News. Local and state officials say it's up to the public to keep the Hornets in New Orleans. They're urging people to attend games and show their support. Under the current deal, the team can opt out of their contract if their average attendance from this season and last season isn't more than 14,700 by January 31st of next year. Also, the NBA hopes to sell to someone who will keep the team in the Crescent City. Morris Bart says while the NBA says the Hornets franchise is worth about $300 million, he doesn't think that would be market value now for a local group to purchase it. You often hear people talk about the white-knuckle drive across the Huey P. Long Bridge. As work continues on a major upgrade, the bridge is set to mark a milestone. It turns 75 years old this week. Tonight, Dave McNamara takes us back in time to see how the longest railroad bridge in the U.S. was built. Be sure to join us for the Heart of Louisiana tonight on Fox 8 News at 9 o'clock. That's a look at today's headlines. We'll be right back. Stay with us.